It's the type of lyric that I'm imagining just like a Midwestern dad listening to his like my kid loves this indie music. Let me put these headphones on and see what that's about. And it's like instantly the dad is appalled. I prefer your love to Jesus. No, nothing can compare to Jesus's love. It's just the type of lyric that is like, to me, it's so like innocuous and like whatever. It's kind of funny. But to some people, this lyric, I could just imagining like flooring them and being like, this is the fucking devil's music. St. Vincent is no saint at all.
I could imagine the parent being like, the Midwestern dad being like, Johnny, why don't you sit down here? I want to talk to you about this music you listen to.
The Midwestern dad is also Mike Tyson. Hello, content hounds. This is Lucien Flores. I'm with Andrew Stieglitz, and you know what this is. This is the Lyric Boys podcast. This is a podcast where we take one of our favorite bands, favorite musicians, favorite artists, and we pick 10 of their wildest, most absurd, craziest lyrics, and we talk about it, and we do some surface level analysis, but we do some deep dives into great jokes. Am I right, Andrew?
Oh yeah, that joke was the funniest of all.
Thank you so much. Your positivity gives me life. So this is another fire all-timer episode. We are discussing 10 lyrics by none other than Annie Clark, aka St. Vincent. And if you want to join the Lyric Boys Content Hound audience, give us a subscribe and you'll never miss an episode. Check out beatsperminute.com because they host us too, and they're cool, and they post music reviews. And if you're like, I don't know what to listen to anymore, I don't know what is good new music, check out beatsperminute.com. Anyway, Andrew, St. Vincent, how excited are you for this episode?
I'm pretty excited. I knew who she was. I knew a couple of singles, specifically like Los Ageless when that came out a few years ago, but I never really dove into her for, I don't know, it was just one of those bands or artists that like you always mean to like go listen to, and then you're just like, oh, I forgot. Like I always forget. And so now I had an excuse to go in and listen, and I was really into it. I really liked a lot of her music.
Yeah, if you don't know St. Vincent, audience, I'll give a quick primer on her career, but in general, and you can tell me if you agree, Andrew, but I feel like she shreds, right? She's an interesting artist because so Wikipedia would describe our favorite website, Wikipedia, gives us genres because, they're nice and kind to us, and they're always giving us information. So Wikipedia says that St. Vincent is rock, pop, art rock, and indie rock. I find a lot of her music is very indie and quirky, but then suddenly shreds with some ridiculous guitar solo. So it's an interesting combo, I think. Like, I think she bridges this gap between like very precious, very Brooklyn, very quiet indie artists with then like, I don't know, like Jack White, like bravado, like guitar solo style.
Yeah. And I think especially in her more later stuff too, you hear a lot of just like pop bangers, which are fun and cool and like kind of danceable. I mean, Los Ageless is like a fun pop banger, and then you have very like chunky fuzzy guitar solo in the middle of it, which sounds cool.
It's so chunky, so fuzzy. We love it. We're in the Lyric Boys podcast, as you know, we're big fans of chunky and fuzzy. So Annie Clark, let me tell you about her, right? So she's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So she moved to Dallas, Texas when she was a little kid. She got her first ever guitar at age 5, which was just like a little plastic red guitar she received for Christmas. She got her first real guitar at 12. And then apparently in her teens, she was a roadie for her aunt and uncle, who were this band called Tuck and Patty. So that's kind of fun.
That's cool.
To have like your family doing music. She went to Berklee College of Music, which is just like, we know because it was right next to our college, but it's just like this very famous music school. She dropped out. I think that's like the Berklee thing. You drop out to make out music, basically. In 2003, she released an EP. Then she joined this band called the Polyphonic Spree. 2006, she joined Sufjan Stevens' touring band. And then finally in 2006, she also released her first ever album, or 2007, I forget, called Marry Me, which I guess was also a Arrested Development reference. to maybe Always Saying Marry Me, which...
No, is that really why she called it that from Arrested Development? Oh, Marry Me. I love that. I didn't even pick up on that.
As someone who used to have a production company named after an Arrested Development reference, I appreciated this. And I was surprised. It's funny to see that.
That is funny. I did not even pick up on that.
Yeah, me either. In 2009, she released Actor. 2011, Strange Mercy. The first two albums are really good and also I think are a little underappreciated now in her career, but like she's really come into her own as an artist with like a very distinctive style and like live show in every tour and every album. And I think Strange Mercy was like, to me, one of this is the first album I noticed by her. The song Cruel, I remember being just so big. And then she released an album with David Byrne of the Talking Heads called Love This Giant in 2012. St Vincent in 2014, which is like when she like dyed her hair white and just like had this like aura of being like a rock god. Mass Seduction in 2017. At some point in this time, she was like going on tour and just like playing music like a robot, like barely moving, and would like have very distinctive robotic movements. So if you see those tour videos, it's really just trippy and kind of fun and like cool. And then a couple months ago, she released Daddy's Home, and that's kind of a very different style for her. Big departure, kind of 70s vibe, like a lot of like call and responses with background singers. It's very funky, very fun. And she's like totally embracing like this David Bowie style. And she often gets compared to David Bowie just by being like a chameleon with her style, which is cool to see. It's like a very pop artist type thing. You don't see that as often, I think, in the indie world. To have like a new album is a new me. And I like Bowie obviously did that, right? But you see that with like Taylor Swift, you know? So it's like cool to see that in the indie world. She won a Grammy for Best Rock Song. And then looking at her lyrics, a couple things I noticed. She talks a lot about, she mentions America a lot. She talks about this like other dude named Johnny, and all her sad songs are about Johnny's.
I noticed Johnny too.
Yeah. She has a lot of repetitive parts of songs where she has the same lyrics, but she changes like her in what's the right one here? She changes the way she says the lyrics really interestingly. So despite the fact that it's the same words, every time it's like voiced differently. I think that's cool. She has like a lot of lyrics about just like fucking like, but like in a very like monotone way, which is also very fun.
Yeah, sometimes I noticed some, and we'll probably discuss those, some pretty on the nose sexual descriptions. Yeah.
So before we go into this episode, I want to go give a quick shout out to the national subreddit on Reddit, because we posted an episode there and they were very supportive and liked it and were super complimentary and made us feel life. And I appreciated that. So shout out to the national subreddit. You're kings.
Hell yeah.
All right. Should we get into it, Andrew? Give the content hounds what they signed up for?
Let's do it. Hit me with your first lyric.
All right. So my first St. Vincent lyric comes from the album Mass Seduction. And it's from the song Smoking Section. So this is one of those quiet, dramatic St. Vincent songs that has kind of suicidal themes, which honestly is in a lot of her songs. I didn't realize that until looking at her lyrics as a whole. So the lyric is, sometimes I sit in the smoking section, hoping one rogue spark will land in my direction. And when you stomp me out, I scream and I'll shout, let it happen, let it happen, let it happen. Fucking vibe, right? Such a vibe. I'm imagining just like a really classic like New York restaurant, like with like big like velvet curtains or something. I don't know,
from
like,
the 80s, and they have those like lamps. There's
yes, like dark, dimly lit restaurant.
Yes, and like
it's just
carpet. It's all carpeted.
Yes, and it's such a vibe just to be like you're smoking in this restaurant. I'm imagining just like one like single ash spark lands on her and nothing really happens. And like her date or her friend or someone of the waiters like, or the maitre d', the waiter is just like, miss, like you've got some ash on you. And she's like, just let it kill me. Let it like And it's like, nothing's going to happen. It's just a little dirty. She's like, no, I'm going to catch fire and die. And they're like, all right.
She's like really into it. She's like, oh, the ash. And everybody's just standing there like, it's been 20 minutes. Are you going to order?
She's like, no. I'm dying. Don't you see? And they're like, no, you're not. You're just a very dramatic woman.
Weird that
in
this
your
ash
50s that is depressed.
Weird that this spark has lasted for as long as it has. It should absolutely have gone out by now.
Yeah. But the actual imagery of this lyric, though, is great. Like the actual imagery of just like this smoky lady in a bar and catching fire and people trying to put her out. And she's like, no. I'm okay. I'm okay with this. It's just amazing imagery. I love it. It's so dramatic.
Yeah, those kinds of restaurants are the kinds of restaurants I picture when I listen to Billy Joel. Like every single song takes place in like that kind of like 80s restaurant, which is so like everybody's wearing a suit. They had just all come from like a big business meeting. It's like 5:30 p.m. on a Saturday evening. For some reason, they're at a business meeting on Saturday.
Okay.
And it's like very smoky, and everybody has Budweiser. That's what they're drinking. There's no light beer. There's no craft beer. There's no fucking IPAs. It's just Bud. It's just good American Bud. And then everybody is just ashing their cigarettes out on St. Vincent.
I'm just imagining a really famous like New York institution like the Rainbow Room or Peter Luger's Steakhouse or like the restaurant on top of the World Trade Center. Just like something, just like some classy / touristy, just depressing joint.
Bubba Gumps in Times Square.
Yeah, Bubba Gumps. That's really yeah, the lyrics of the song are great. Like the next one, we wanted to discuss it, but and sometimes I feel like an inland ocean, too big to be a lake, too small to be an attraction. And when you wander in and start to flail a bit, I let it happen, let it happen, let it happen. So we don't have to discuss that too much, but that's great. To feel like an inland ocean, we've all been there.
Too big to be a lake, too small to be an attraction. Yeah, it's just like, what am I?
Imagine you're in like high school and your teacher's like, "Hey, little Johnny, what's got you?" Or middle school even, like, "What's got you down? Why are you looking at that? Why are you looking out the window so forlorn?" You're just like, "I think I'm just too big to be a lake, too small to be an attraction." And your teacher's just like, "All right, there's a gas leak again, isn't there?"
All right, I'm calling the cops. Get this kid out of here.
Why do you want me to arrest this child? Well, he's too forlorn and too introspective. It's weird. All right, let him just play baseball or something. I don't know.
Kid should be out playing ball, not writing poetry.
All right, Andrew. Want to hit me with your first St. Vinny lyric?
Yes, my first Vinny lyric comes from the song Digital Witness off of the album St. Vinny, St. Vincent. And I think this might be my favorite St. Vincent song, but I'm not sure. I do love it, though.
It's a bop. It's like one of her, like, just like, it's a quirky song, but it fucking slaps.
Yeah. The lyric is, digital witnesses, what's the point of even sleeping? If I can't show it, if you can't see me, what's the point of even doing anything? This is no time for confessing. Hashtag mood, am I right? What's the point of doing anything? Sometimes it just do be like that.
It's kind of like, what's the point of like going do it? Like, if I can't show it, if you can't see me, what's the point of doing anything? It's like, if I can't post this to my Instagram stories, like, why even go on this beautiful hike into the Tetons, the Grand Tetons, whatever those are?
Yeah. The only way I get a nice endorphin rush in my head is to know that other people think that I'm having a fun, happy life.
Yeah. You ever just have a really fun weekend and then you just don't post about it at all? And then you're like, secret times.
I do. And then I think that weekend didn't count.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's also like the times you're more bored that I find like you're on social media. And you're just like, I'm bored today. And then you're like, all right, I guess I got to post something. And then times you're just like fucking getting lit, having the best time of your life. You're like, oh, I forgot to check my phone.
Well, we're all lurkers on social media, right? And there are these people who at least I notice, who post occasionally. And every post that they post, which is maybe is like once a month, very rarely, is like a cool thing that they're doing, like a very cool different thing. And you're like, shit. So in those times that they don't post, in that like the 3-week period, you're like, fuck, they must be doing something so cool. Like this person is a real mystery. Like what could they possibly be doing? It leaves a lot more to the imagination than to post every day.
Versus like every day sucks in between, and they only post when they're doing cool things.
Right. Well, I don't get that view because the view that I get is that they're just like so busy having so much fun that the things that they're posting are actually might be the least fun things that they're doing. And they're like, I have time to post.
It hooks you. Dan, the Lyric Boys I got to start posting like this once a month when I'm doing cool stuff. Even if it's like things from like 3 years ago, I'm like, yeah.
Like, Lucien, why are you like 50 pounds heavier and also 10 inches shorter?
Yeah, because 3 years ago I was 50 pounds heavier and 10 inches shorter.
Yeah, you were.
Which is a crazy growth spurt in my mid to late 20s, guys. One thing I'll point out right now that I took note of for Digital Witness, this feels apropos. If you want to be St. Vincent's Digital Witness, I saw that her website's address is ilovestvincent.com. It's an amazing website.
Yeah, you have to admit it in order to get into the website.
Yeah. I got to do that instead of like lucianflores.com. It's like I love lucianflores.com. That's where you can find my stuff.
My website is Andrew Stieglitz is really good at makinglove.com.
The Lyric Boys are my favorite podcast and the only ones I listen to or am legally allowed to listen to.com.
Yeah, we should do that.
We should.
That would be a big change. People would have a really hard time finding it on Google, but that's okay.
Digital Witness. What's the point of even sleeping? I guess, yeah. Who needs to sleep when you can scroll? Am I right? Kick one
Been there.
Toxic S out of your life called sleep. Replace it with the scroll. Am I right? We love it.
We love the scroll. You want to hit me with your number 2?
Yes, my number 2 is from the song Prince Johnny from the album St. Vincent. The lyric is, remember the time we went and snorted that piece of the Berlin Wall that you extorted, and we had such a laugh of it, prostrate on my carpet. Amazing. Just like, all right, great. I love lyrics that are just like fondly remembering a weird thing. We've done a couple of those lyrics. Like the National has that one that's like, remember that time you like backed your car into the vines and went out and apologized to them? Or there's another lyric, and then there's like stuff like that. I love weird things that you're fondly remembering as if it's a normal thing. And, excuse me, snorting the Berlin Wall is fucking awesome. That's like the type of thing you do just to be like, have a story. It's like, yeah, all right. So like snorting old ass concrete, not probably the best for my health, but like amazing story that you could then like tell on every icebreaker.
The thing is, I don't know if it's a metaphor or not, but I really would not put it past St. Vincent, Annie Clark, to actually take a brick of the Berlin Wall and snort it like it's a brick of cocaine.
So I was reading that it might be based on a real thing that her friend did. Like, took a little bit of, because like you can take, I guess you can buy bits of the Berlin Wall now or like steal some, because now it's like a crumbly thing, or just like, you know, the relics of the Berlin Wall. But like iconic. I mean, here's a question for you, for the Lyric Boys content hands at home, for everyone to reckon with. But what building in general, what like historical landmark would you want to snort? Just to be like, I snorted the fucking Eiffel Tower. You know, like what would that be?
Oh, I know what it would be. Trump's unfinished border wall.
I was thinking the Hustler Club on the West Side Highway in New York City.
Oh, the Hustler Club. Oh, man. That's going to have some interesting.
I would love to snort like, either like something really cool in New York that I can feel like a connection to wherever I go. Like I snorted a bit of the Empire State Building. That would be cool. Or like Pompeii, to be like, snorted some old ass shit today.
I'd like to snort the a brick from a nice brick oven pizzeria in New York City.
Classic. You love this pizzeria so much that you consumed the building that they make the pizza in.
I grind up the bit of concrete, I roll it into a joint, and I just smoke it up, and it tastes like a good sausage mozzarella.
You know how they sell like just like dirt from like a place, or like sand from a place, or like buy like the dirt from like Yankee Stadium or whatever.
Yeah, and apparently that's really bad for the environment, selling sand from a place, because they're just like eroding the beaches.
Everyone wants to buy the sand. All right, give me your. Oh no, you got something?
I know. I got my second lyric.
Ooh, that's what I wanted to hear.
My second lyric is from the song. Oh, this might be another one of my favorites. I really like this album. The St Vincent album, the self-titled. The song "Birth in Reverse."
Mm-hmm. Another just like weird, quirky jam that then shreds.
Yeah, and again, the song I heard for the first time because I wasn't super familiar with St. Vincent. So I was listening and I heard the lyric, "Oh, what an ordinary day. Take out the garbage, masturbate." And I just thought, Annie, Miss Vincent, please wait till you get back in the house to do that.
Yes. I want to say it again just in case. Oh, what an ordinary day. Take out the garbage, masturbate. Great. That's what I'm talking about when she talks about she has like, this is obviously like overtly sexual, but she has a fair amount of lyrics that are slightly subtler or just like you don't even realize it's sexual because the delivery of it is so mundane and like boring. And this is part of that. It's just part of her routine. But yes, she should go back inside before she masturbates. Don't do it outside.
Advise that. Don't do it outside. Yeah. Yeah, take out the garbage. Yeah, I mean, good day, I guess. Maybe not the most productive day, but ordinary.
Ordinary day. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's
that's it.
What is like the Modest Mouse lyric that we did, Polar Opposites or so? That was like one of the songs that's like I'm trying to drink away the part of the day that I cannot sleep away.
Oh, yeah.
And then your version of it was I'm trying to drink away the part of the day that I cannot sleep nor wank away. Yeah. I feel like St. Vincent's right there with you and Isaac Brock from Modest Mouse.
Yeah. I'm just channeling the ordinary day of indie musicians, drinking and jacking off.
The 2 J's of life.
The 2 J's. Fucking Jesus. We do host a weird podcast.
Wait, that doesn't even make sense. What am I talking about? The 2 J's. Drinking and jacking. Those are not J's.
Drinking is J-R-I-N-K. What other words can we misspell?
Yeah, it's like there's sometimes I say things and I'm just like, I thought I was a fairly smart man.
Well, that's also like, I feel like that's also, you know, when you smoke a ganj and you have these
when you
thoughts,
smoke a ganj,
when you have these thoughts in your head where you're like, this is an amazing thought. Okay, let me go ahead and articulate it. And you start to say the thought and then your mind is like, nope, that's not it. That's not a good thought. Also, what was I just saying? That's that's, I feel like, what we just did with the 2 J's, where we're just like articulating something that doesn't actually make sense.
Confidence gets you through, yeah. You know?
All right. The next J of life will be your Jerd lyric. You want to hit me with your Jerd lyric?
Here's my Jerd lyric. It's from the song I Prefer Your Love, also from St. Vincent, which we are just pulling a lot of lyrics from today. And the lyric is simple. It's simply, I prefer your love to Jesus. Amazing
Sacrilege.
Lyric. It's the type of lyric that I'm imagining just like a Midwestern dad listening to his like my kid loves this indie music. Let me put these headphones on and see what that's about. And it's like instantly the dad is appalled. I prefer your love to Jesus. No, nothing can compare to Jesus's love. It's just the type of lyric that is like, to me, it's so like innocuous and like whatever. It's kind of funny. But to some people, this lyric, I could just imagining like flooring them and being like, this is the fucking devil's music. St. Vincent is no saint at all. You should have the saint that tells you, St. Thomas Aquinas, who tells you that meat is lusty and to eat only fish. That's the only saint I pray to.
I could imagine the parent being like, the Midwestern dad being like, Johnny, why don't you sit down here? I want to talk to you about this music you listen to.
The Midwestern dad is also Mike Tyson.
I was trying to do like a Chicago. I can't. But the guy is just like, she calls herself a saint, son. And that's the number one thing that you should look out for is people misrepresenting themselves as saints. Jesus said, and then the son cuts the dad off and is like, Dad, I prefer your love to Jesus. And the dad's like, now hold on there, Johnny. You can love me as much as you want, but God damn if you don't love Jesus more.
Jesus loves you more than I could ever love you, my son. That's why I must sacrifice you, because he came to me in a fucking DMT trip and told me I gotta kill my son. So I wonder if there are any... So one of my favorite things is conspiracy theory videos about dumb shit. So there's one on the internet that someone goes on a 9-minute rant against Bon Iver's song 33 God and is like, this is proof the Illuminati is real. Like, he's using all these symbols and like, this is how the Illuminati gets you. They hook you in with this cool imagery, but it's actually devil worship.
Nice.
I feel like there has to be a St. Vincent video like that where it's like, she lulls you in. She's no saint. Dumb kids from the Midwest think she's a saint. Like, no one actually thinks St. Vincent is a saint. No one is like, she's done 2 verified miracles, therefore she's an actual saint.
Well, anything that has any sort of Christian imagery, you're gonna get the conspiracy theorists going nuts. Like I feel like they're gonna be like, she calls herself a saint because she represents the Illuminati or whatever. Or like, how dare she call herself a saint? I mean, you have conspiracy theory videos about like the Denver airport. You ever see those?
No, it's about the gigantic statue outside with the fucking... Like, there's this gigantic statue outside the Denver airport of this blue Mustang, and apparently it killed the creator. It fell on the creator and killed him. And it also has a very graphic, phallic
imagery,
detailed
right?
Anus.
Oh,
I saw the internet. I was like, oh my God.
And the runway of where the planes go is shaped like a dick.
Damn.
That's a thing. That's a real thing that you could look. You could even look at it right now and just be like, okay, yeah, that's super shaped like a dick.
Damn, I'm excited to look at this later. The Denver airport is the world's dickiest airport.
Yeah.
No, I do love a good crazy person on the internet, and I'm after this. I'll have to see if there's some crazy St. Vincent videos out there.
Yeah, there's got to be.
This is like, to me, like the moment, like, like the John Lennon, like, we're bigger than Jesus at the moment type thing that like caused an uproar in the 60s in the USA. Mm-hmm. I feel like if St. Vincent were a huger artist, like Taylor Swift, if Taylor Swift had the lyric, I prefer your love to Jesus. Oh, yeah. Like, there would be an uproar.
Yeah, absolutely. There would be like CD burnings.
Yeah. Yeah. So people would be like, I used to be a Swiftie and now I'm a Jesus-y. A Jeezy. I
prefer Jesus because he sounds like Jesus.
Yeah. I said, what up, Jesus? He said, what up, Jesus? I said, not much, just chilling, trying to stack these millions. Amazing. If I could have a meeting with any 3 people in the world, it would be Jesus, Yeezy, and St. Vincent.
Wow. I wouldn't pick... necessarily, not that I have anything against those 3 people. I just feel like there are more.
Oh yeah, those would not be my 3 people.
My 3 people would be
the Pope, Jesus, and George W. Bush.
Oh, I was gonna say the Pope, Jesus, and Saint Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, and the whole time he could just be like, "Oh man, cows are too lusty."
He's like, "Guys, ever see some udders swinging around that farm? Oh man."
For everyone at home, this is a callback for our Nirvana episode. Go listen to our Nirvana episode. We're killing the callbacks today. All right, Andrew. Yes, I've been talking a lot, and I don't mean to be rude. So I really want to hear your 3rd lyric. I care about you, and please hit me with it.
My 3rd lyric is from the song "Marry Me" from the album "Marry Me," and the lyric is, "Come on, John, we'll do what married people do. Let's do what Mary and Joseph did without the kid."
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like if you heard that from your significant other, the only way to interpret that is that your significant other no longer wants to have any kind of sexual relations with you, and then they want you to give birth to the Messiah somehow through a miracle.
No, they don't want a kid, though.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
let's not have sex, and let's not also have a miracle birth. As we talked about in this podcast, I'm not a fan of the virgin birth trope.
It's overdone.
It's overdone, overplayed. Come on.
So basically,
who you fooling that virgin birth? Yeah, right. Get a fucking job.
So basically, this person does not want to have any sort of relationship with John whatsoever. The narrator of the song is, I don't want to have any kind of sexual relations. I don't want to have a kid. Actually, let's just not even be friends anymore. Goodbye.
This is like the type of relationship to me that sounds like just like two elementary school kids in like Sunday school.
Yes.
And like don't know anything about it being adults. Like they're like, let's be married. Let's do what Mary and Joseph did. Yay.
Yeah, it's Catholic school and the nuns marry them and they're like,
yes.
Okay, now you can also sit quietly at the table like Mary and Joseph did because they didn't do anything else.
You must sit and just have repressed. Don't talk about anything in this relationship. Just like if you ever have anything you need to talk about, just don't do it and just let it boil over. That's how to have a nice, happy, religious marriage.
Yes, blessed by God himself. That is what God would want.
This is I like the eagerness of this lyric. I like the enthusiasm, but I don't understand it. I guess I don't know.
You know what? Maybe actually, in doing a little bit of analysis, maybe it is like a sort of sarcastic, like, I don't actually want to be with you, so we'll do what married people do, which is like the joke there is like, we won't have sex. Let's do what Mary and Joseph did, same thing, without the kid. So it's just like, I actually don't want to be with you. Like, or like, let's get married, but then like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to touch you. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to have a kid with you.
There's a sense of this too that's like when you're very young.
And I could have totally gotten that wrong because that's the only lyric I know from the song so far.
It's okay to get it wrong. There's no perfect analysis of a lyric. You can get it extremely wrong, and I'm still proud of you for trying. You know, you show up every day, you give effort. One day you'll get a lyric right. All right.
All right. So the song Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. Okay. What that means is that, so clapping your hands is a metaphor.
When Pharrell Williams says that because he's happy, what he actually means is that he's depressed.
Wow.
The song takes on a new meaning. No. So I like the eagerness of this lyric too, because there's like youthfulness to this where when you're an adult, you just are like, I still very much am like, I'm a child. And then like I grow older and I'm like, I'm still a child. And then I look at like older people and I'm like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. We're all just like children figuring it out. So there's something here about like, we'll do what married people do. You might feel that way now that you're engaged. And it's like, what does that even mean? What does it mean to be married? It's just like, I guess we're married now. We're doing the same stuff, but we're married.
Well, my view is that God looks down on you graciously and he says, okay, get ready for heaven. In 80 years, you are going to have some heaven. Just hold out for 80 years. And my God, it's just going to be amazing.
Now you can have sex, kid.
Now you can do it.
This is a very religious episode. Let's make it secular.
Well, it's St Vincent. How can we not be religious?
God bless. My fourth lyric comes from the song Strange Mercy off the album Strange Mercy. I think this is my favorite St. Vincent album, but I digress. The lyric, this is a very chill song, and then it just like has like then it gets a little lively with this line, which is, if I ever meet the dirty policeman who roughed you up. No, I don't know what. If I ever met the dirty policeman who roughed you up. So what I find interesting about this lyric is like, she doesn't ever say what she's going to do if she meets the dirty policeman who roughed you up. I like that there's some like previous story here that isn't really elaborated on. And it's just like, at some point, this dirty policeman roughed this guy up. Mm-hmm. But like, this is very relatable to me because she's not like, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. You know, because it's like, it's the type of thing that's like, if someone's wronged you and you're like, oh man, if I ever see that person ever again, I'll probably just like look the other way and not do anything. I don't know how to handle this. You know, like that's like realistically what will happen.
Yep.
Because like, you know, you can't really like, you know, bring like a dirty cop to justice just being a normal person. You know what I mean? Right? Like, so I do like that vibe. That felt very relatable, where it's like all that pent up energy and rage and be like, oh, I've been wronged. Oh, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to journal about it and make peace.
Yeah. I'm going to tweet about it. I'm going to just be like #ACAB.
That's why I kind of hate, I mean, I don't hate when people, but like there's sometimes like people, I'm not like a violent person, right? So like there's sometimes people on the internet that are like, if that ever happened to me, I'd beat the shit out of that person. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if someone skips you in line at Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, and it's like, how the fuck can anyone possibly like actually do that in real life? Like road rage or shit, or like people who are like actively like rage about the tiniest stuff. Like I was on the subway yesterday and the train like stopped for like 5 minutes and the guy next to me was like, oh God. And he was like, kept like smacking his leg and he was just like, oh my God. And it was just like, this dude fucking cannot handle the subway being parked for 5 minutes. How can he handle anything in his life?
He's not living in the present moment.
I was just like, this dude is fucking gonna have a heart attack in like 10 minutes and it's gonna be like cause of death. Subway was delayed for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I get road rage for sure, and then it goes away in like 5 minutes. It's like it comes on almost like a blackout drunk, where it's just like you black out, like you do. So obviously, like I remember it, but like you have this like emotion come over you that it seems like it's out of your control, and then 5 minutes later, literally like 5 minutes later, you look back, you're like, well, that was a. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what came over me. I'm so sorry. I just.
I'd like to apologize to the Honda Civic that cut me off in traffic when I said that your car sucks and you suck and you deserve to die. I didn't mean it. All right, just drive better.
I am so sorry. I took out a blowtorch and I lit your car on fire with you in it. That was a mistake. I regret my actions.
I don't get road rage. I never have, but I also don't like get ragey in general. But my way to combat those feelings of road rage is just like talk sarcastically to the car in front of me or the car behind me. I'll be like, yep, all right, what are you doing, dude? Like, that's a weird move. Like, why are you doing that? Or the funniest thing to me is to watch like a car that's tailgating someone, but there's like nowhere for the car in front of it to do.
Oh my God.
Like, when like, all right, I understand like if you're in the passing lane and you're driving slow, that's dumb and that's bad and you should go in the normal lane. But if you're in the like passing lane and there's a car in front of you and a car in front of you and a car in front of you and a car to the right and there's nowhere you can go and a car's like tailgating.
Yeah.
And then that car starts swerving like onto the shoulder and stuff and it's like keeps changing lanes, but there's just nowhere to go because like traffic is very slow.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous, but that also makes me laugh because I imagine just that person in that car being like, oh, I gotta like just like being so panicky. It's always like a Dodge Charger too.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, that dude must be so like, I can't imagine that guy in line for like a bagel and there's like a 5 minute wait. He's probably like loudly announcing, he's like, oh, I'm fucking tired of this shit. You're making me wait.
Yeah, he does. He does. Those people absolutely do. He's usually in a pickup truck.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And he's usually got like some, let's just face it, some like Trump, like right-wing flag hanging off of his truck. And he's just like, look at these fucking pussies. Why are they going so slow? It's like in line, when I remember in elementary school, like walking in a single file line and like sometimes the people behind you, the like kids behind you will be like, push you, be like, go faster. And you're like, we're fucking in a line. Where am I supposed to go? You want me to fucking fly over this line?
I would love if that story just had a lot of like rage. You're like, okay, Sharon, you fucking poked me for 20 minutes, all right? We're all getting our juice packs. You can't just fucking calm down for a minute, all right? God.
Dude, oh my God, I wish, if I could have one wish in this world, it wouldn't actually be this because this is a joke, but bear with me.
Right.
It would be.
Thank you for telling me that this is a fake wish.
My fake wish would be to put my 29-year-old brain into my like 7-year-old body to be able to communicate with kids the way that, like, with all the life experience I have now.
Yeah.
So that when that happens, I can turn around and be like, excuse me, Danielle, are you aware that we are in a single fire line? That physically there are other bodies in front of me. And by you pushing me, it's not going to make me go faster. It will make me crash into the person in front of me, and you'll have a domino-like effect in which we all fall down. The teacher might fall too. It'll be really embarrassing for all of us. So why don't you slow your fucking roll?
It's like we all, like the people who are like moody teenagers who think they're the best are the people that think they're like a 30-year-old trapped in a 17-year-old body, and they're like, Andrew, no, I'm not going to get excited for dessert. But
how great would that be? How great would that be to like go back just to like some instances in your life, some moments that you remember where you're like, man, as a 29-year-old, like I can really fucking put that person in their place, and they would just be shocked.
Yeah, I guess. But then you're trapped.
This is the difference in our personalities, is you saying like, I'm not like a fighter. I'm not a guy who wants to like do that. And I'm just like, I'm going to fucking put people in their place. Also,
to everyone watching on YouTube, they know it, where I'm wearing just a very hilarious tie-dye Grateful Dead shirt, and Andrew's wearing a Metallica t-shirt. So that kind of like says it.
Says it all.
I was thinking about the weirdest, like, imagine being like tailgated and then the car passes you and flips you off, and like the weirdest bumper sticker for them to have, like the most surprising one would be like, I think a big Grateful Dead sticker in the back of their car, and you're like, wow, that dude I thought would be very chill. Or like Margaritaville Jimmy Buffett sticker, I'd be like, dude, really? Like,
that's 100%. That's 100% happened to me before. Both with the Grateful Dead and the Margaritaville. I swear, I'm not even kidding. Like Grateful Dead, the bumper sticker is, it looks like a, I can't even describe it. It's kind of like a skeleton. Yeah, the skull. Yeah. And they have that on their pickup truck next to like a Back the Blue sticker, and then like a Trump 2020 sticker. All the time. I see that all the fucking time.
Yeah, because it's your car.
It's my 2011 Honda Civic.
No, it isn't your car.
It's not my car.
It's not your car, but it's time for your fourth lyric. All right, here we go.
My fourth lyric is from the song Regret.
Regret. Say it like you're hosting something with conviction, all right?
Regret. From the album St Vincent. And the line simply is, I'm afraid of heaven because I can't stand the heights. And it just makes me think of like a kid in like Catholic Sunday school class, and they're talking about heaven, and the kid is just like, I don't want to go to heaven. Like if it's way up in the sky, like I'm afraid of heights. I don't want to like look down and see the earth, and everybody looks like little ants, and I'm just up there with God and my friends, and I'm like on the edge of a cloud looking down at my old house.
Clouds are unstable as shit. I'm going to be terrified of falling.
Yeah.
Give me hell. I want to be burrowed down into the ground.
Maybe some people think that way. I don't know.
I mean, St. Vincent thinks that way.
It's just funny. It's just funny to think that like a person would be like, yeah, heaven's really high up. It's in the sky.
If you were the conspiracy theorist YouTube channel talking about St. Vincent, would be like, St. Vincent is a false prophet feeding you lies about heaven. You cannot fall from heaven. Literally. All right. It's a good place where you want to go. Children, do not believe her lies.
Okay.
Like, what 7-year-old is listening to St. Vincent?
But from another conspiracy theory standpoint, let's hear her out. Okay, so you know when it rains?
Hell yeah.
That water falling from the sky is actually the tears of children from heaven who are looking out over the clouds, afraid of heights. And they're all crying because they just want to go back home.
I thought it might be like angels peeing and being like frat boys, just being like, I'm peeing from a tall height. That's hilarious.
I've done that before.
Yeah. You're an angel peeing. Beautiful rain. I'm afraid of heaven because I can't stand the heights. That is a funny lyric. St. Vincent is one of those artists that I think I would like to, at some point in the future, do a sequels episode, because she's really fun lyricist. Like I think I kind of took her lyrics for granted, but she's very clever and fun in her lyrics. I was enjoying. I pulled so many. I was really enjoying just digging in, and very memorable short ones too that are just like the type of lyric that you can put in a yearbook or something. I don't know, just like the type of like thing that you write in your friend's lyric.
Dear John, I'm afraid of heaven because I can't stand the heights. Anyway, good luck next year at college.
It's just like the type of thing that I can imagine someone like tattooing on them. I don't know.
Maybe I could imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you ask them what it means, and like, I don't know. Read it.
Okay. Yeah. Who fucking knows?
Let me hear your fifth and final lyric.
So my fifth and final lyric comes from the album Mass Seduction, and it's the song Los Ageless, which, fun fact, is a play off Los Angeles, if you guys didn't know.
Heard of it?
Heard of it. So Los Ageless is... It's built on the chorus of how can anybody have you? How can anybody have you and lose you? How can anybody have you and lose you and not lose their minds too? Which is great. I love that.
Yeah.
And then the song ends, and as it's fading out, St. Vincent is like just talking in a low voice, like lamenting basically. And she just has this whole little speech that is, I guess that's just me, honey. I guess that's how I'm built. I try to tell you I love you, and it comes out all sick. I guess that's just me, honey. I guess that's how I'm built. I try to write you a love song, but it comes out a lament. And it's just like that over and over again. And I love that for many reasons. One, it's like the idea that she has no agency. And she's like, I tried to write a love song, and it's a lament. And it's like, oh, woe is me. It's like St. Vincent, you could have changed the lyrics to be like, I love you so much. I love it a lot. That could have been a song, but no, you kept the lyrics the way it was, the way they were. But there's like a part of the song too that's just like not having agency, like, and I just think that's such a fun thing to write a song that's a banger, and then to end the song being like, I don't know why this song is this way. I don't know why I'm this way. It's like a funny meta contextual little thing. I don't know.
It reminds me of like people who blame their entire personalities and every decision that they make on the month they were born in. Like, sorry that I murdered you. I'm just a Scorpio, and it do be like that sometimes. Ha ha ha. It's the way I'm built.
I do think there are people who are like have these very self-defeatist personality, like that identify with like fucking things up. And they're like, well, of course I fucking dropped my baby. That's just what I do. I drop things. I fail in life. Right? Like, there's that vibe that some people have, or like, of course I failed another like relationship or friendship because I'm toxic, which sucks. And it's, you know, that's not true. People out there who think that's not true. It's not true. But that's what the song kind of has, that vibe, which I love it, because it's like, yeah, St. Vincent, you're totally capable of writing just like a very boilerplate love song. But like, you're not going to do that because you're very interesting, and like, that's just not your vibe.
Yeah.
But I love that it's just a lament, and she's just like, that's just how I'm built.
I'm also picturing like she's in the studio and the record exec is like, St. Vincent, we need one more song for the album. And it's been like 8 albums. We want one love song that we can just sell to the radio. And she's like, I want to write you a love song, but I'm a Sagittarius. I just can't do it. It's not how I'm built. And the record exec's like, you went to fucking Berklee College of Music. You know how to write a love song. Just put down I love you on a piece of paper and sing it. She's like, it's not how I'm built. Sorry. Can't do it.
There are two things. One is like the idea that also just they were just recording and she didn't know they were recording, and she's just like beating herself up in the studio. She's like, I try to write you a love song. I try to fucking write you a love song. They're like, St. Vincent, you know we're recording. And she's like, I was not aware of that. Sometimes I see that on Twitter. People are just like, I can't fucking win, but like, what is it? It's like, oh man, when like the planets are aligned or something, and they're just like, I can't focus at work because like
retrograde.
Yes, like Mercury is in retrograde, and I'm like, I see people are like, I can't fucking work today because Mercury is in retrograde, and just like the fact that you're like starting your day thinking like it's gonna be a hard day is gonna like make that day hard for you.
Yeah. You know what? I will say, it's an interesting point to say that like to blame all of your external or like your problems of the day on the planets. I don't know.
Well, it's good to have that, the externalize your problems, make you feel like But then it makes you feel like you lose control. Like you don't have control of your life, right? And
Right. If you start your day thinking your day is going to be derailed because of some external force you can't control, then guess what, King? It's going to be derailed.
Ooh, King. That's some King wisdom from Bubba Andrew Stevens over there. So this is also the type of thing that's like when someone's like, I don't know why I keep insulting people and people don't like me. It's like there's like people whose personality is like very insult comic-y, right? And they're kind of annoying to hang out with. Like, I feel like I actually don't know many people like that, but it's like, I feel that is a vibe that some people like go for. It's just like, I'm the one who says the crazy shit. But it's like, I can imagine them at home being like, why did I say all that crazy shit? I can't stop saying the crazy shit. I'm the one who does the crazy shit, but I want to be free of this trap.
And they're like in a relationship, a very loving relationship, and the person says, I love you for the first time. They're like, oh, that's fucking stupid. And then they cry about it because they're like, I don't know why I said that. I cannot say the words. It won't come out of my mouth. It won't happen.
I guess that's just me. I love it. I love this. Great song. New York, also great song. Cities, great cities, great songs. What more can you want? Am I right?
That's all you need. You want to hear my fifth and final?
Bring It Home. Daddy's Home.
That's right. It actually comes from the album Daddy's Home.
Whoa. I didn't even know that.
You did not. The song is called Pay Your Way in Pain.
Hell yeah. That's the new way of paying for things. Am I right?
That's, yeah. Forget Apple Pay. Pay your way in pain.
Cryptocurrency is so 2017.
The lyric is, so I went to the park just to watch the little children. The mothers saw my heels and they said I wasn't welcome. So I went back home. I was feeling kind of queasy, but all the locks were changed. My baby wouldn't see me. That's some exclusive New York City park. You gotta look nice to get in there. You kids gotta be all prim and proper. That's all I thought of when I read that lyric.
This is the song where St. Vincent just can't catch a break. The rest of the lyrics of this are like, she goes to the store because she's hungry, but they ran out of food, and like she was all out of money in her card, so she went to the bank and they're like, oh, sorry, we don't have a record of you. Then she goes to the park and she can't stay at the park, and then she goes home and her locks are changed. Just like,
wow, this is a crazy
talk about
movie.
A bad day. That's the type of thing where she's like, oh honey, Mercury's in retrograde or whatever. Clearly,
yeah,
everything is happening.
Wow, the planets are not aligned. Somehow it changed my locks. I don't know how that works, but hey, don't question the wisdom of the universe. It does sound like a movie that's just like sort of like a Groundhog Day-esque movie, but like you wake up in a different dimension where you're like you don't actually live in that dimension, so like your locks are different. Like, oh, that'd be a great movie. Let's make that movie where you wake up and you're like in a different version of your reality. So it's like you go home, but like you actually live at like your neighbor's house, and your neighbor lives at your house, and you're like, what? This is not real. Anyway, Hollywood, if you're listening, just anybody out there, agents, execs, creative development people, you have our info.
Amazing. Yeah, this sucks. This is a sad day. Being queasy with nowhere to go queeze.
Yeah, I don't want it. Don't want that kind of day.
Don't like it. I don't like it. Ugh, I don't like it.
But I will make a movie of it.
All right, do it. Boom,
Are we ready to write our own St. Vincent lyrics?
Oh, man. You know, I'm normally the good one about this, but I forgot that this was the thing we do. So Andrew of the Lyric Boys fame just reminded me that this is the part of the podcast where we invent, we improvise, we write our own version of St. Vincent's lyrics. All right. So we're going to take like a minute and just like just make some St. Vincent lyrics. I don't know. I know she likes to talk about America and Johnny's, and she likes to be a little bit repetitive with her words. And,
yeah, I don't really know.
This is gonna be hard.
I don't really know if she has any tropes that I could specifically pick out. But I'll figure it out.
I have no idea what the fuck this lyric is. This is.
Me neither. Mine is complete and utter nonsense. It doesn't actually mean anything, so do not try and analyze it.
This is fun though. I definitely. You want to go first, or should I go first?
I'll go first. I'm excited to read my fucking stupid.
Give me your
lyric.
St. Vincent lyric. What were you going for when you sat down?
I was sort of going for. I was going for like a quirky, soft like sound of just like a. La, you know what I mean? That's sort of like soft.
Nice.
La. Yeah. So you'll hear it. The name of the song is Accident. Okay. All right. So I sort of took an old school you approach where it's like, this is definitely not something St. Vincent would sing about, but I could see her cadence in here. Okay.
Oh, you mean like a joke? It's about someone peeing their pants or something?
Something like that.
All right.
Okay. The lyric is, I heard you call my name. I responded.
Wait, sorry. You gotta speak a little bit louder.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I'm going for a quirky indie vibe.
I know, but I can't hear you.
I heard you call my name. I responded with something lame. My baby don't love me no more. I heard you had an accident. I thought about those laxatives. I should have told you they were bad. That's it.
Amazing. I like it.
It means nothing. It means nothing. Do not try and analyze it. I did not just shit my pants, and I did not just take laxatives, and I did not just subconsciously put that into a song.
So write what you know, am I right? So I like it. Accident. I feel like Accident is a very St. Vincent sounding song title, to be honest.
Yeah. And the repeating like the I.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So my song is Come to Me, Johnny.
Oh, okay. All right. That's that. There you go.
I tried to channel the Johnniness, the repetitiveness, and this is just long. I didn't read it twice, and so it makes no sense, and I don't know if it's a good song, but this is the made-up Lucien St Vincent song, Come to Me, Johnny.
Great.
Come to me, Johnny, fill my cup with propane, light a match and watch me spark, light a match and fill the dark with our burning passion. Our love's going out of fashion, like your overalls. I'm still not over all. The things you said to me, the things you said to me and said you're sorry, the things you said to me and said you're sorry that I got mad. Come to me, Johnny, put a leash on me, Johnny. If a dog's what you want, then I'll bark and die and haunt you to eternity throughout all modernity. Come to me, Johnny.
Wow, that was like a full-ass song. Shit.
I was like, I'm going to go back and edit this. And it's like, I'll just keep adding things.
I love the overall line. I think that's very clever. I could see it in a song. I can see it, Miss Clark. If you want some songwriting help, Lucien is here.
Miss Clark, I'm a big fan. I can make a good hit song for you.
I love the propane line in the beginning. Very Hank Hill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what a vibe. That's a real poem you got there.
Thank you. Despite my exterior, I'm a very tender man.
Despite your fucking weak ass exterior, you're even weaker inside. Oh.
Wow. I'm just gonna go home and have road rage after this, just to try to feel something.
Yeah.
So, Content Hounds, that was the Lyric Boys St. Vincent episode. We'll be back here next week with a new band, a new artist, and then we'll be back the week after that and the week after that. And you can't stop this snowball of momentum as the Lyric Boys keeps doing the Lyric Boys stuff. So if you want to be a Lyric Boys Content Hound, which is just the highest honor you can be in all of humanity and all in human history, everyone's just striving to be a Lyric Boy Content Hound. If you want to do that, you can subscribe or follow wherever you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast. What that will do is you'll be kept abreast of all the latest Lyric Boys episode, which that's what you want. You'll just make sure you'll ensure that you'll see when we drop a new episode, which is just like yes, that's like having a good friend in your computer who's like, hey, did you hear, King? The Lyric Boys are out with a new episode. That's the life. You can also follow us on social.
You can have your cake and eat it too.
You can have your cake and eat it. We are at the Lyric Boys. That's how you enunciate. We are on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and TikTok at Lyric Boys. We post clips of our episodes. We post recaps. You can scroll around and see our previous episodes. If you want to send us a DM, we like to respond. Sometimes we like to read comments or reviews or whatever. It's what we do. It's fun. to hear your name on the podcast? I don't know. You tell me. You can see, try it out yourself. All right. Well, we gotta go rest, and we'll be back next Monday with a new band. So get excited.